show we do weekdays-wise around this sort of time. We like to celebrate someone who's had to keep going to work, a key worker, if you like, who's been going into work when many of us have been locked down. And our next guest, Natalie Gardner, used to work in the financial sector in the centre of Bournemouth for many years, then decided 6 years ago to retrain as a nurse, qualified earlier this year, now works at Bournemouth Hospital, and she joins us on the line. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
That's a jump, isn't it, from the world of finance into nursing? Was it something you knew you wanted to do and you just kept putting it off and then you thought, no, now's the time?
Yeah, I've always wanted to do it and decided that after 6 or 7 years in the financial industry just to change of pace and do something completely different. So I just went for it.
And it took you 6 years, so that wasn't full-time. Was it a gradual switch over from the world of finance to nursing then?
Well, so I left financial industry and worked in a care home for a year, and then I started my training in February 17.
Got you.
Yeah.
And what sector in nursing do you work in? Forgive me if there's a normal path, but I always imagine that you do nursing and then you choose to do a particular section of nursing, or have you not quite got to that stage yet?
So I work in haematology at the moment, so I want to do something really interesting, very specialised.
Okay.
So I decided to go down that route, yeah.
Haematology, is that bloods?
Yes, it's bone marrow disorders and some cancers.
Okay, excellent. Now, what's it like in hospital? What's the general vibe at Bournemouth Hospital at the moment?
So it's actually really positive in terms of staff. Everyone is really coming together, regardless of job title, and kind of working towards a common goal. So it's really, it's been really one of the highlights, actually, seeing how everyone is coming together and just that sense of community. And obviously there are hard days, but there's so much support that we've got there that it's really helping keeping us going.
The admiration for the work that you guys do on a day-to-day basis was already there, and it's nice for it to come to the surface. You think that's impacted the whole building?
Absolutely. On a Thursday night when we hear people clap for carers, for all services, actually, it's such a lovely, uplifting moment, because you're just reminded that there is all that support out there for you.
Yeah, it is quite incredible, and it's an odd situation as well, isn't it, Natalie? Because in one way, we don't want the hospitals to be overrun and to have to use all their emergency provision, and in another way, there's that strange there's been a strange sense of waiting to see if it does happen. What's that been like to work in?
Well, it's given us time to prepare, I think, and to get areas that are safe for everyone, whether you have COVID-related issues or your underlying health conditions, because people still have treatments going on, and it's amazing that the NHS is still here for everyone, and the A&E is still here, and your dedicated teams are still treating, a whole range of conditions.
Do you ever feel, with regards to, you work for, I think it's the UK's largest mutual building society, when you hear the government saying we're going to provide mortgage relief and things like that, or allow people to have mortgage relief, do you feel liberated that you're not part of that sector taking thousands of calls, or do you think, actually, I miss a little bit of the buzz of that call centre feel?
I definitely enjoyed my time at Nationwide, but I think I am here in where I need to be. And it's just this COVID-19 situation is affecting everyone in some way. So I'm really pleased that people are getting relief from their mortgages and also getting the healthcare that they need. I think it's really important that everyone has to have adjustments and that they're being catered for. Yeah.
My last question is, have you been in a queue and someone said to you, excuse me, this is for NHS workers, and you've had to use the NHS, the ID badge, for something you would never normally use? Or have you resisted the temptation and pretended you haven't worked for the NHS?
I haven't had to, actually. I've really managed to time my trips to the supermarket when it's been fairly quiet, so I haven't had to use the NHS badge yet. And I think I would probably just queue with everyone else.
I do wonder that, because I think a lot of people who work for the NHS, by the very nature, they don't necessarily want a lot of attention. What drew them into the job was looking after others. So to be the centre of attention, I imagine, could feel a little bit awkward.
Yeah, it does feel a bit awkward, and I never use that queue when I go to the supermarket. So But it's there for people who need it,
Yes,
but I'm quite happy to wait with everyone.
Yeah. I do wonder whether people use it. And, the free 3G and things like that, I wonder how many NHS workers like it, or whether they just sort of slightly feel awkward. It's an interesting thing, isn't it? We have to go through.
Yeah, we don't really like that attention.
Yes, it's learning to let other people love you and appreciate you. It's quite a tricky thing. Natalie Gardner, nurse at the Royal Bournemouth and Christchurch Hospital. You and your team are doing a wonderful job. Thank you for coming on air. And you've chosen a piece of music. I
have. It's Alicia Keys' Underdog. It's just a really feel-good, uplifting song.
You're lovely. Thank you very much, and thank you for all you're doing.
Thank you so much.